Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Shark. Public speaking is people's number one fear, even above death. And you have spoken hundreds, thousands, maybe even times, multiple stages, millions. Yes, right. You're that old.
Thanks. Methuselah and I did keynotes at the same conference.
And I hear he's showing up at your conference coming up in February, the Home Services Growth Summit. So anyway, since you're an experienced speaker, give people one speaking tip that can help them improve their speeches.
Sure. So this applies in any kind of, whether you're speaking at a conference, speaking at a retreat, speaking at, just internally at your office. Do as much research about your audience as possible so that you're speaking their language. And there's a lot of people who call themselves experts at X and think that that their audience needs an explanation of X, but the way you translate that message can often be wrong. So a friend of mine that I just interviewed on the speaking podcast that I do, we were talking about how to get some better information. And it just reminded me, because she's not somebody that looked or acted military or camouflage at any level. She's a mom, she's petite, there's plenty of moms in the military, but she was dainty, if you will, very sweet, humble, not somebody that you would ever see in like camouflage or doing push-ups. She was asked to come in to speak to a group of special forces, and which was very interesting because we talked about this on the show. She doesn't look like somebody that's putting black eye makeup. She's never held a gun in her life, that kind of stuff. And so one of the things that we were talking about to help her get prepared was talking to people in depth that were in the military in different branches, not necessarily only in special forces, but if you're going to go talk to any group of people, know how to speak their language, because ultimately at the end of the day, the only advice you're ever going to have that resonates is going to be one that they understand. And a lot of times that comes down a little bit to the colloquialness of how you speak and present. And too often people think that their message is what somebody wants to hear, but there's so many examples of what we say and how it translates differently to a different audience. And your audience will much more accept what you're saying when the context, the colloquial nature, if you will, around the phrases you use resonate with what they hear in their work. They're not professional listeners, even if you are a professional speaker. So make certain that the way you speak and reference your topic is one that identifies with them. If you are talking to a group of people in financial services, spend time talking to people that live and breathe in that in depth as much as possible before you go talk to them about your great solution that you've invented for time management, or being faster or more resilient, or being a leader. All that stuff is great. But if you're in financial services or whatever the vertical is that we're talking about, if it's home services, make certain that you dive deep into what they're dealing with, because it will make your speech much more well received than it would be otherwise.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.